Hi, Safinaz. Very nice to see these essays from you. Good job. It's so important not only to write, to practice for IELTS, but also to get feedback on that writing. So good job doing that. Let's take a look straight away at what you wrote. The first one is the English and Homestay letter. So let's see. Dear Sir, I'm Safinaz Al-Touri, Egyptian student at Riyadh Medical College. It was a pleasure to be enrolled in the English program at UK. Luckily, enrollment was done on the last week of August. If the program was launched earlier, I wouldn't be able to participate as I was outside the country. Glorious United Kingdom, I have always dreamt about visiting it. All right, let's start with that. First of all, Safinaz, the whole thing looks really short to me. I haven't done word count, but do try to make it over 150 words, okay? Let's see, without counting, of course, the dear sir, that doesn't count. Let's talk a little bit about, first of all, some problems that I see. Number one, this is a formal letter. And when you're writing a formal letter, we never write contractions like I'm. It should always be written out fully. I am. Okay? So, the other thing that's really missing here is a lot of punctuation. So you're in need of some commas, and I don't see them. So let's try it. Dear Sir, I am Safinaz Al-Touri, comma, an Egyptian student, and you need to capitalize the E, an Egyptian student at Riyadh Medical College. Also capitalize your M, capitalize your C. All right, and then full stop, that's fine. Then, not it was a pleasure, it is a pleasure because you haven't gone yet. So it should be, it is a pleasure to be enrolled in the English program in the UK, and then say the name of it, English, what is it called? English and Homestay, okay? Comma, English and Homestay. Then, I wouldn't even have written this. I wasn't really crazy about this sentence. I felt like it was kind of off topic. It doesn't help your essay in any way, your letter rather. So get rid of this sentence entirely. Luckily, enrollment was done on the last week of August. If the program was launched earlier, I wouldn't be able to participate as I was outside the country. Not relevant, and the grammar is off because you needed a full stop here, okay? So, and then again, no contractions. So the whole thing is a little strange, okay? Then, this too grammatically does not work. You can't say, glorious United Kingdom, I have always dreamt about visiting it. No, it's just not really natural. What would have been really a lot better here is if you had said, I have always dreamt about visiting the glorious UK or the glorious United Kingdom. All right, and that's okay. So, therefore, I wish you can help me to know more information about the weather, especially during the period starting from October till the end of the year, which is my homestay duration. Okay. Here are some issues. Therefore, not I wish you can help me. Wish is not used like this. So what I'd like you to do is revise some grammar rules about words like wish. They have very specific grammatical structures that follow. So, therefore, I hope you can help me to learn more information about the weather, comma, especially during the period starting from late October till the end of the year, which is my homestay duration. Fine, you could have put a comma here if you really wanted to be appropriate. In addition, what are the famous markets offering souvenirs at, wrong word here, at reasonable prices in the neighborhood? You need to put a question mark here. It's a question, so make sure you use the right punctuation again. And I don't know why there's no spaces between your words. After we use some sort of punctuation, we always leave at least one space. So after comma, there should be one space. After a full stop, there should be two spaces. All right, so last but not least, the nearby touristic destinations, comma, I intend to visit as much historical places and museums as I can. Again, grammatically, this is not accurate. So let's try instead. Last but not least, I have some questions regarding the nearby tourist destinations. Full stop. I intend to visit as many, not as much, as many historical places and museums as I can. Then ask a question. You're supposed to be asking some essential information. So say, could you please provide me some information about which landmarks you believe are worthwhile? Okay? Don't just, give a reason for mentioning this thing about the tourist destinations. My arrival will be on 1st of October on Egyptian Airlines, capitalize your A, at 6 p.m. London time without the S, without the apostrophe S, and capitalize the L. And my departure on 31st of December, okay, Fine. You could have mentioned something about, please provide me information about how I can arrive at your home, or if somebody would be able to pick me up, I would greatly appreciate it. Something else rather than just this sudden ending. Okay? Then you have this, please accept my heartfelt greetings. All right, it's not wrong, but like I said, I would have liked a different closing. So something like, I am really looking forward to meeting you and your wonderful family, or I want to thank you so much, or even better, I would like to express my gratitude for welcoming me and hosting me in this program. I'm really looking forward to meeting you and getting to know the UK. All right, so there are a lot of things you could have said here. It feels like a really sudden ending. And then you also needed to leave a space between whatever this closing ends and your sign-off. The sign-off is correct because you wrote, dear sir, you're absolutely right that you should have written yours faithfully. That's fine. So that's some feedback about this letter. There are some problems with it, okay? So keep those things in mind. Let's now take a look at your task 2. International marketing. Let's see what you had to say. Okay. The world has become a small village which lures international companies to promote their products in other countries. Therefore, some people dispute this infringement on the economy, while others support international marketing. I am, remember, no apostrophes, I am staunchly convinced that marketing boosts countries' economical status. You needed an apostrophe here. Economical status by creating a lot of job opportunities, and competition is for the end consumer benefit. Okay, however, that's not what the question asked you. It didn't talk about boosting economical status. It talked about a necessary and economical form of education in addition to spreading ideas, language, and culture. So, judging just from your introduction, I feel that you're at risk of getting off topic here, okay? Because this is not what they asked you to support. They asked you to describe this, and invasive and intrusive. So those are the elements you should be focusing on. All right, moving on now. To start with, some populace, not really crazy about this word here, not the best word choice. Just say some people. Honestly, sometimes the simplest word is the best choice because it's what expresses the idea most clearly. So, to start with, some people are against international promotion in their country to eschew its sway on domestic firms and culture. I'm not really, again, I feel like you're trying to use advanced words, but they're not the most appropriate. So sometimes it's better to just use the simpler word. It just makes more sense. Firstly, national ventures do not have huge budgets, if compared with their international counterparts. Thus, they cannot, fully written, withstand competition in front, 2 words, of giant companies. Okay. One of the expected repercussions, you spelled repercussions wrong, is the failure of the national entrepreneurs whose existence not are sublime. Again, wrong word. It's you mean that they are necessary, they are essential, but not sublime. And its existence with an E, whose existence is essential for the country's economy, and you don't mean Renaissance here either, okay? Secondly, some promoted products are inappropriate for the local culture owing to ethical or luxurious reasons. All right, so you need to explain that. What do you mean by inappropriate? What do you mean by ethical? What do you mean by luxurious? This is an example of a sentence where you've given me a main idea, but you haven't supported it. You absolutely must support any main idea that you put forward. Okay? You have to explain what you mean. Why inappropriate? What do you mean by inappropriate? What do you mean by ethical and luxurious reasons? Okay? All right, so in contrast, not on, in contrast, other people are inclined towards international marketing in order to enhance competition between companies for the benefit of the end user and the whole country. It is irrefutable that the availability of rivals is healthy for many aspects, not form. For example, more products directly translated on prices, I don't know what that means, which means myriad collection, you spelled myriad wrong, and price profile suits all the community classes. I'm a little confused here. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. It might be a vocabulary mistake, or it's just not clear to me, really. Let's see. More products directly. I don't know what this means, translated on prices. I really don't understand. More products directly translates to prices, which means myriad collection and price. I don't understand what this means, okay? Then, furthermore, luring more businesses to invest in the country. No. I think you mean, furthermore, by luring more businesses to invest in the country, the national economy will thrive. According to the aforementioned, more job opportunities will be created for citizens. Okay, but where is this idea of it being a necessary and economical form of education? You haven't touched on that at all. Okay, so it's off topic. I mean, you've kind of skimmed international marketing, but certainly not in the way that you are supposed to in order to answer the question. You've been asked you've been presented with two very specific views, and those are the views that you have to analyze, okay? So, in conclusion, international marketing is a controversial topic. Some support it, and others are against it. From my perspective, careful with your spelling, international promotion widens the horizon for the consumer to, I don't know what this means, to worldwide products. You're missing a verb, so I don't know what you mean. In addition to creating recruiting, I think is what you mean, but it's spelled wrong, chances of the country. Okay, so now that we've read both of these essays, I can say for sure that there are a couple of problems with them. The biggest problem for me is your task response. You haven't answered the question. You've decided to talk about international marketing, but not talking about the elements of international marketing that you've been asked to discuss. You just took it and you kind of went somewhere totally different with it. So this is a problem. All right, you haven't developed it the way they've asked you to. And then there are a lot of grammatical mistakes and a lot of lexical mistakes. So both your grammar and your vocabulary have some problems with it. I think you could tell pretty consistently I found some inaccuracies. I think each sentence had either a grammatical and or a vocabulary problem. So that really threatens the kind of score you'll get. The good news is that the coherence and cohesion, well, the cohesion was fine. You organized your paragraphs fine, but the other problems that I already mentioned are big enough to create challenges for you to get the score that you want. So I really hope that I get to see more of these essays from you. I think that if we work together, it could really help. I would really want to recommend that you look into the online course, because I think that a lot of the lessons in the course will really help you with this task development issue. Really structuring your paragraphs and developing them in a way that will get you the score you need. So please look into that option. I think that there are some elements in your writing that we can help you improve for sure. So take a look at that, and I really hope I get to see more of your essays very soon in the near future. Good luck.